I am joined today by that one Lucario fan and Chroma Fabulista.
Perfect. Yeah, my name is That One Lucario fan on YouTube, and I basically went to school for graphic art, and then I realized I wanted to do video games, so I took game design courses. So I have knowledge with card games, which is kind of why Taperclip thought that I should come along with this. I studied them in college, and yeah, I'm glad to be here. I like games with cool anime style to them, so I'm looking forward to not being satisfied by this because I don't think it's gonna be quite what I'm looking for.
Chroma, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, I'm Chroma. I very much did not go to school for anything related to this, but I do have a little bit of an obsession with tabletop game design. And so I've picked up a lot about card game design and card game mechanics. And so when I saw Taperclip was doing this, I said, please, I need to be on this. I need to take this apart with you.
Yeah, and I said I love your passion. You're in because my only qualifications are I am the biggest white manga fan on the entire internet. And so when I heard he's attached to this card game, I'm like, I'm going to learn literally everything about this card game. So I'm glad I could rope the two of you into this. Two people way more qualified to talk about card games than me. So I have a spreadsheet of all of the cards. This was written by my friend Ricky from Planet Fitness. Definitely his real name, by the way. Let me pull that up. And I thought we could each alternate and read through the spreadsheet. We'll read what the card does. We'll show off the card. We'll read Ricky's notes, and then we give our feedback for why this card works or it doesn't work.
And to be clear, Ricky from Planet Fitness, if there was a Ricky at your Planet Fitness, that is Ricky. He is every Ricky at every Planet Fitness.
Exactly. He's from the collection of Rickies. I've done a lot of talking. Lucario, would you like to start with the first card?
Yeah, so that would be card number 0002, right? There's no 0001.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find that one yet.
Okay, sweet. Perfect. So this card is called number 02, and it is from the faction Apple Black. I've heard that before from our podcast. The card type is chapter. The traits are none. The action type is narrative. The progressive value is none, and the purge cost is none. The card title is Break the Ivory Wall. Each time a player draws a card from their shonen deck, this chapter, that player draws two cards, chooses one, and purges the other. Under What is Wrong, we have this chapter. Do chapter cards need to explain that their effects are for the current chapter? That player draws two cards. Do players draw two cards total or three cards total? If they draw two cards, do they pick one from all three or from the last two? When you draw two, do you trigger the effect again for an indefinite loop? Chooses one and purges the other. What does that mean? To choose one card or to choose a card? How Magic Gathering does it. Thought reflection. That is a thing in Magic the Gathering. If you would draw a card, draw two cards instead. And then another thing for Magic the Gathering, nagging thoughts. Look at the top two cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. And then we have under, is the character referred in the effect catalog? Characters are not mentioned. And then comma, use optional, maybe. And then period at the end, no. Grammar notes. And then tallying playing irregularity clues in published Saturday Wars cards. So new art can no longer see under boom.
Yeah, they changed the art for this card between the quick start guide and the one on their GameFound page. They did a rollout of all of the all of the currently released cards, I should say. And that the art for that one changed. I'm not sure why, like what was wrong with the other one. I guess the first design was a little too raunchy. The choose a card mechanism was that sucks. I don't know how else to say it because it really is not being articulate about what this mechanism is supposed to do or what they mean by choose one and just
Want to say like that player puts one into their hand and purges the other.
yeah.
Which is what I assume they mean. Like choose
That
is pretty self-explanatory, but they don't explain what choosing the card does.
Yeah. That's a lot of this game where I feel like it's like, okay, I think I can kind of deduce what I think you're getting at, but like I don't like having to do those guesses. Especially since like, well, I've seen other card games that can, just be more direct, so I don't have to do this little extra guesswork.
Yeah, I'm checking out the card right now. You said under boob was removed. Does that mean that the version we're looking at in the files is an old version? Because I can still very much see.
That's the first version of the card. Yeah, they changed. They used a different picture of the character in the new one. Now she's like got a more like fighting action pose.
Became a joke.
Now it's just regular. See, now she's ready to kick your ass. I guess because she wasn't ready to kick your ass in the old one. Like I don't get it. Like what was it's like that fake ass kanji that in the background that bugs me way the hell more than like, oh, we need to like position this character so she's halal. Like fuck you, man.
But yeah, now I will say on the comma use, is the comma use optimal? Get ready for proofreading, Chroma.
Please, I need the proofreading. Yes, Ricky from Planet Fitness is not like the most like astute English scholar, so I will need your input here.
Each time a player draws a card from their shonen deck from their boy deck this chapter.
Yeah, what's up with shonen? I noticed that too.
What? Yeah, why do they keep saying shonen deck?
There's clearly girls in here, so why are you calling it the boy deck?
Dude, like Saturday AM is so fascinated with shonen manga. Like it is the pinnacle of manga for them. And they put such an emphasis on like we're making shonen manga. It's like okay, cool, but like there's other type I don't know. I don't want to like be taken out of context because like they do have a josei magazine and a seinen magazine, but you know, shonen's their like that's their main deal. And I don't know. I also kind of have like a beef with like, okay, we're gonna be the diverse manga publisher, okay, but then we have a magazine for shoujo, josei, and gay manga all lumped into one. But it's like, okay, well, if you were really going to be diverse, you'd have your Naruto and Sasuke characters making out. Like that's what I want from diverse manga. I don't want it like just like pushed off to the side in your fucking shoujo magazine.
There is one singular black character.
My thought process on this, it's like the same thing I said in our last podcast together. Like they can make shonen all they want, and that's really cool. You can get like great inspiration from shonen, but at the same time, like if everything that you're giving the attention and the love towards is just American shonen stuff, it really is going to give the impression to, you know, the women reading or the queer audience reading that you don't actually care about them because you're shoving it all in like a side thing.
I think
they're manga publishing. They like
right.
Someone please force every one of these authors to read 100 shoujo manga.
Please. Oh my god. Like I think they're like trying to course correct because in their most recent magazine they wrote an article about the history of magical girls, and you know it's just it's very basic, but it's just like, okay, so you acknowledge.
Was it a good article?
No,
did they have Preacher? Did they know what Preacher was?
Oh god, I don't think so because I remember something.
22 years.
I remember something about it pissing me off.
Yeah,
because
have they heard of Minky Momo or Creamy Mommy?
Like, that's the other
they mentioned those. But I was still not a happy camper about this because it was just like a general timeline of magical girl stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's some nice lip service. Are you ever going to show anything actually gay in your shonen magazine or what? Like, sorry, I am peak bitter about this.
No, I totally get it. It's just making me laugh that I realized all of this came from that like JoJo's art. Like they got like someone and said, do Araki style. And we're just like, why? What?
Oh, that's all. I believe at the moment, all of the Apple Black art is all done by, or at least the Apple Black art in this card game is done by Ojunze, or aka White Manga. He's been outsourcing a lot more to assistants lately, so I don't know how that arc is going to go. Yeah, Lucario, I would love to hear your take on this.
Princess Knight does not have magical powers. She is considered an honorary magical girl in the discussion, but she is not actually a magical girl. So I find it so odd that, you know, we're saying it began in 1953 with that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it would be Ako-chan in 1962 that was the first actual magical girl because, okay, I'll explain very briefly. Princess Knight, it's by Osamu Tezuka, the same creator as Astro Boy. Mm-hmm. And what Tezuka loves to explore is like put upon people with like unique upbringings. You know, like Astro Boy, he was born as a robot as a replacement for a boy. Princess Knight, she was born with a boy and a girl heart both in her. So kind of a little bit gender ambiguous. ambiguity in there. So, like, she's not a magical girl. She's just a boyish girl because she has a boy and a girl heart. She just fights with a sword. She technically has like a little mascot, but that's just an angel who felt guilty because of the whole two heart thing, and so like watches over. It's like her guardian angel. Like, you wouldn't say that like Supernatural is a magical girl show just because there's a guardian angel.
I mean, in all fairness, they do point out that Princess Knight is not
really a magical.
Yeah, that they say, while not magical is not the focus. It's like they say that, but it's also like, okay, but why even?
Okay, but
like, I don't know. It's like this is
because Princess Knight is one of the first popular shoujo manga. The first popular shoujo manga would be Anmitsu Hime. It's very good. I've seen the anime and I've read some of the manga. It's like one of the biggest shoujo ever. It got an adaptation in '89, and it has a really good anime from '89, but it's from like 1930 something. So yeah, Anmitsu would like deserve the shout out here, if anything, because it ran for like forever. It's like as long as Saze-san.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I don't know. There was something like, cause I don't have like the magical girl PhD like you do. I just skimmed over this and I'm like, I don't know if all this is right, but I guess you're trying to give some more nods to shoujo manga lately. So I had this like,
they're trying.
I had the. I guess you're trying. See, that's what like makes me so freaking nuts. Is that like they're like the articles in their magazine are like, I guess you're trying. Like, I kind of have that mindset, but it's like you're trying to be a legitimate manga publisher, and you have these articles in your magazine alongside your manga that you're publishing. So it's like, well, it's like if you're trying. Like you can't do like a basic fact check. You can't get somebody with the magical girl PhD to write out your little like, oh, we're gonna celebrate magical girls timeline. Write out your timeline, and it's just so much of it is just bopping along, and just I hate it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also question the entire second page because this is all shonen stuff, and that's fine. I'm not anti-shonen. Definitely include Magical Girl Dandelion because that's a big deal. Like, every creator is talking about that.
Yeah.
And also, the artist is very active in the fandom. So I'm sure that by giving him a little shout out, that probably they thought they were going to get some brownie points with the author, which is fine. And that's valid. That's a good kind of author interaction. But like this other stuff, like See the Witch, Madge Lumiere, maybe drop one of those. I'm sorry, I would drop the Witch because if anything, give the shout out to what's it called? The magical boy that was a shoujo. D&A Angel. D&A Angel is a shoujo manga.
Yes.
And it's mega magical girl inspired. It's just that he's a boy. So that one would deserve the shout out.
Huh, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't see any Precure, so that just like other than just the one Precure girl and
it's not they didn't shout it out, but they have Hana from Hugto.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It's like if you're making a timeline of magical girl stuff, like, well, I don't know. Precure's
also, I question Madge Lumiere because, like,
same. It's a shonen, and it's
a shonen. It's not even very good.
Also this
needs to be because this is just a page of shonen manga with girls.
At least one.
Are we gonna put the Nobuo girl? I'm sorry, I got her name wrong, but Nobuo from Jujutsu Kaisen, a magical girl? Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. This magazine, it came out like a week after I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical. But like after that debuted, and I had like, and I was just screaming because it's like, dude, how are you not shouting out I don't want to be a magical girl? If like if your whole thing is like, hey, we're gonna make more black manga, black superheroes. Like, okay, cool. Like this there's this cartoon that everybody is in love with. And you are not mentioned. It's like you're a digital magazine, so it's not like, oh, we got to wait for the publisher. It's like, no, you could just change it before you publish it.
It's like, hi, yes, we make original English language manga, and a lot of what we do is focused on bringing black characters into these stories, and it's like, it's right there.
Exactly. Yeah, they've been retweeting it more on their socials, but I don't know. There have been other OEL and black projects that they've been a little more hesitant to shout out. I have seen some things in the Sleepless Domain. What?
It's a black magical girl indie comic. It's quite popular. Like, everyone who talks about like indie comics usually brings up Sleepless Domain. It's like
I feel like I've heard.
Yeah.
I have not seen them.
I don't read a lot of new web comics these days, but I feel like I've heard some of the people I know do talk about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% of my social media usage is just lurking on Saturday AM social media, and I have not seen them shout that out. Maybe they did and I missed it, but I didn't catch that one. I know they specifically have not shouted out North Caesar, which is another black-owned OEL manga company. So I don't want to stir the pot. I don't only on card one. I don't want to stir the pot too hard, but that
lack of solidarity.
Well, yeah, that was basically all my thoughts. I'm really glad that you showed this to me, though. It was really, really funny. To go through.
Thank you so much. Like, thank you for breaking that down.
It's like you have two double spreads. One page, right? One spread is the cover page and in half the article, and the second one it's half the article and an ad for a shonen battle manga.
Yeah,
like forcing your potential queer women audience to the side. Like, oh no, we got to advertise what really matters here.
Yeah, like they don't want to scare the straight boys away and be like, oh yeah, we talked about magical girls for 2.5 pages, but don't worry, Apple Black's coming back. Don't worry, don't get scared by all the pink shit. Like, God, it fucking sucks.
But yeah, back to proofreading, Chroma.
Yes, please.
First of all, this giant gold signature on every card is fucking horrendous.
Thank you.
Ugly as sin.
Thank you.
And just like the whole card design is awful. Nobody, don't do this. It's not as bad here. It's not as bad on the chapter cards.
Yeah, chapter cards look a little bit better. Sorry,
yeah, we're gonna get to the
oh god
vertical cards later. But, yeah, at least here the text is at the top. At least here the name is on the is in the top left. But yeah,
when I would play this, and I would add like an upgrade to the character card. It just felt awkward because like I want to like stack the cards.
Yeah, God.
Yeah. Feels weird. Like it's just like there's so many just little oddly unsatisfying things.
Yeah, like, this ties back into that kind of like 7 deadly sins of TCG design I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
Part of that, don't do non-standard card sizes because it's going to be harder for people to like find sleeves for it and binders and stuff. Right. Part of that is also like make your cards easy to use. Make them. Don't make them unwieldy. Don't like put plastic shit in there, so that so that it has to be like see through, right? Because that's gonna make it. That's gonna make it obvious. That's gonna give tells for like what's coming up next, right? Okay. And you can't put them in sleeves, right? And then you can't put them in sleeves because it needs to be see through to stack.
Yeah.
Right. And like just like make them easy to use. Put important information where it's most visible.
Yes. In the print to play set, this was such a pain in the ass because they do not give their cards borders. So just cutting out the cards was like just sucked. I eventually was able to like borrow one of those. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, like
the big arm, the big sharp arm. Yeah, the big sharp paper cutter arm.
The guillotine, I like to call it.
Yeah, the guillotine. Yeah, I got one of those. But like just like I sent the Apple Black print to play set in the chat, and just cutting it out sucked. I already went over this in my video on Saturday Wars, but the print to play set, it says print 1 copy of this page, print 2 copies of this page, print 3 copies of this. It's just like, why? It's one PDF. Like, why do I have to go through the extra steps?
Yeah. Just like put multiple copies of this page. It's a PDF. Yeah. It doesn't cost you anything to do this.
Exactly. Oh my god. So that was another thing of like, oh, your card, like you saying like, oh, the card should be easy to use, easy to play. It was like the alarm sirens went off because it's like they weren't for me. They screwed that up. They've hurt me in that way.
Yeah, so narrative. Each time a player draws a card from their boy deck this chapter.
From their boy deck?
I'm going to call it the boy deck every time they say shonen deck.
Please, because calling it the shonen deck sucks.
It's like, damn, why are you guys so obsessed with boy deck?
Thank you.
Yeah, each time a player draws a card from their boy deck this chapter, makes sense. That player draws 2 cards, chooses one, no comma, and purges the other. Now, that is grammatically correct. I would go with the Oxford comma for clarity.
Yes, big agree.
And of course, add a goddamn period at the end, for the love of God.
What's weird is there are some cards that have a period at the end. So no period at the end. That wasn't like a style. Like I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, like it's not a stylistic choice. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
this is supposed to be a professional thing. Put a period at the end. It's not.
Y-
It's not. It's you're not in DMs. You're not in a Discord
yeah,
server. Use your goddamn punctuation.
yeah,
And of course, in the bottom right, you have the 002 out of 150, right? The card number in the set,
yeah,
volume 1. So they're calling the sets volumes in addition to all the other
yeah,
story stuff. Which, like, please
yeah.
stop. Please stop.
I
This is
don't
not
get it.
helpful. This is not good. This is not good for clarity. This is like the way they've chosen to name things is extremely confusing.
It is. It really is. Because if they should have just stuck with like we are a cool action battle card game because there's not a lot of
Yeah,
story building things, but they use all the story building terminology. So
yeah.
it just
It's like
pisses me off.
it's not really building a story. It's just
Exactly.
I mean, like the mechanics, right? The win conditions are kill all your opponent's protagonists, deck them, or win 3 chapters.
There's also if your opponent runs out of cards,
That's what
they
decking
they
is.
yeah. Oh, sorry. I told you I'm new to this.
Deck out, right? Deck out,
Okay.
decking. Yeah. So
Okay.
right, so decking your opponent, letting them deck themselves. Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, your win cons are kill our protagonists, let them run out of cards, win 3 chapters.
Yeah.
So, no life points, right? So that's
Not.
right. A
Yeah.
lot of
Not
card,
really.
that's right. Life points are not necessary in a card game. I actually like
Mhm.
that, right?
Mhm.
You don't need right. So,
I
you're
mean,
having
yeah, but there is
the
the
minions fighting
battle.
instead of trying to kill each other, which
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, are they trying to win a battle? Is this like a tournament? Is this like a fighting competition? And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this is supposed to be a story that's being told here, but like these these arcs don't come together, so it's not really a very good story.
Yeah, so many of them are
Yeah.
weirdly story events. Like one of them is hug your grandma card. Uh, I'll find it. It's like
Wait,
5
Really?
down.
Yeah, yeah, surprise party. It's
Yeah.
oh.
like
yeah.
okay, this is a prologue. This is like the beginning of a chapter. Is the surprise party, and it's like infiltrate the mothership, visit the prison, rescue the kids, surprise birthday party. And it's like these can all be the same one. Like you can have surprise birthday party move into rescue the kids. And it's like
yeah.
there's a tonal whiplash here.
Yeah, that too. Oh, I guess I'll save that when we get to it, but there is because like if part of the fun of this is supposed to be, oh, we're doing the multiverse. All of the Saturday AM heroes are getting together. There's not a lot of card crossover that should be able to have crossover, like such as the card Angelo. You can play Apple Black students at a discounted cost when you play them with Angelo because he is a mentor. So I'm just thinking like, okay, but there's students in Clock Striker. There's other students in other series. Why do they
Yeah.
have to be from Apple Black? Is it like, oh, well, we're doing this crazy crossover event, and so in my fan fiction, Snape is gonna teach Denji from Chainsaw Man. Like that's like a very basic fanfic thing.
It's a
But they're like,
crossover
oh,
game that doesn't understand the appeal of crossover.
yes. So it's like, oh, Angelo, he's just shit out of luck if he tries to teach anyone outside of the Apple Black universe. He's
Yeah,
just
it's like, damn,
fucking
this guy's a
useless.
shitty teacher.
Exactly. like you think he'd be able to like piece it together and like maybe like bullshit to the students and fill in. But no, I guess he can't. I guess he literally can only teach the Apple Black students, and I hate that. um, did you did you want to move on to the next card? I think
Yeah.
I think we've broken the ivory wall.
Yeah, should I read the
I
next
think
one?
the audience has in fact grown quite sick of the ivory wall.
Oh God. yeah.
Okay, card number 0003. Faction, Apple Black. Card type, chapter. No special traits. It's a narrative. No progress value or purge cost because it's a chapter card.
Mhm.
Card title, Infiltrate the Mothership. each time you play an ally during this chapter, add 2 progress markers here. What's wrong? During this chapter, do chapter cards need to explain that their effects are for the current chapter? Yeah, no, like, this is terrible templating. Like, during this chapter is implied by the fact that the chapter card leaves once you take it.
Yeah.
It's like if every enchantment in Magic said, while this enchantment is on the field. Like,
Mhm.
that's just an inherent part of the card type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything in the quick start guide to clarify that either. But
Yeah, and
again,
it's like,
it's a pretty
okay.
long quick start guide, so I might have just lost.
Yeah, and also,
I
like,
might have-
add 2 progress markers. The progress markers have anything to do with the progress value on the character cards, or is this a separate thing entirely?
I I I think there's because you add progress markers to the chapter cards that are being played, and then some cards you can add progress markers to the character, and then at the end of each round you add up basically like your attack points and your progress markers, and whoever has the most wins that round.
Uh-huh. At the end of each chapter or each action or each
Let
chapter,
me
right? Wait,
Yeah, let me bring up the quick start guide.
you sure now?
While you bring that up, I have a comment I just want to make. I hope it doesn't distract you too
Oh
much.
yeah, definitely.
But why does
Yeah.
White Manga's signature have his name in signature form, and then written right under it is the word white? So you have White Manga.
That applies for all of them. That's on all of them. That's all the signatures.
I know, but that's so
Then
odd.
weirdly enough, it's different at the end of the quick start guide. At On page 21 of the quick start guide, we see signature white and then his real name Odunze Ogugo. I can't figure out if calling him white manga is dead naming him or if he prefers to be called Odunze Ogugo. Like he's so terrible at branding. Like just calling your manga Apple Black is just makes it Google proof. Like it is so hard to search for this manga. Every time I search Apple Black manga,
Yeah, you got like a
it comes
black
up like
iPhone.
Yeah.
yes, exactly. It'll be like Apple e-reader, yeah, Black Eye. It's like all of this shit not related to it. And then the way he spells his name, White Manga, it's like I want to put an E at the like I instinctively want to put an E at the end.
Yeah, you
But
know, manga.
It's White
yeah,
Manga.
Why?
yeah. Why with a
Why
T?
manga?
It like what's more is like because like Odunze Ogugo, like there's not a lot of Odunzes running around,
Not
but
on the
White
English
is like a
language
little
internet anyway.
harder. What was that?
Not on the English language internet anyway. Like,
Yeah. But like he got big with his YouTube channel, White Manga TV. So and he says that his pen name, White Manga, came from his middle name, White. So it's like, okay, but when your manga went to print, why didn't you use the name Odunze White Ogugo? So like, I'm in the store, I see, oh, Odunze White Ogugo. Oh, right, I remember that from YouTube. Let me pick this up. I don't know if he's trying. Sorry, I don't know if he's trying to do a rebrand. Like if he is like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If he's like, oh, I can't fully commit to being Odunze because everyone knows me as white, but I want to commit, but like that feels bad. Like I literally I can't figure it out. I just know that he sucks at marketing himself, and it makes me nuts. Like, how did you get this far? How did you get this far and be this and have a manga with a Google proof title? It's impressive.
yeah.
It's extremely
I couldn't I couldn't find the quick start guide. Chapters have God, yeah, like there's so many steps in this game. Cause I think it's within the chapter you have your oh right, it's within the chapter you have the action phase. And that trips me up because it says each chapter players will alternate actions until each player has taken 4 actions. These actions consist of the following. And so they give you 5 things to do.
Draw a card, play a card, retrieve a card from the purge pile.
Mhm.
Place a progress marker on the chapter card. Use a printed action or why? It's like, okay, so you can draw a card, retrieve a card, put 2 progress markers on the chapter card, and then just nothing else. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm also okay. Both of you have a better command of the English language than me. So when you look at that, what do you think? Is it I do one action and then my opponent does one, or do I do 4 and they do 4? I
think
get a different
you
answer
do
from
one,
everyone.
your opponent does one, you do one, your opponent does one.
Okay.
Also how
I think it's
do it.
supposed to be back and forth. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I just like to point out these actions consist of the following: has a double space between of and the.
Yeah,
Huh.
you're right.
Interesting. I see.
Yeah,
Man, I don't think I
proofreading
nitpicked
brain.
this.
Yeah.
No, you should, because I don't think I nitpicked this hard enough. Like when I was going through this, I was just like getting increasingly more defeated with each page. Like, why is this the way that it is?
Yeah. God.
I forgot which card were we on.
Infiltrate the Mothership.
Oh,
Just
right,
good,
infiltrate.
fine. Yeah, each time you play an
Yeah,
ally during this chapter, add 2 progress markers here, right? Because they go on the chapter. And it's like,
yeah,
that's fine. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's fine.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what that does, but it does it. It doesn't have any
Yeah.
issues.
It's so that when you compare all of your points at the end of the turn, you will have more points. And
Also, like,
it's like,
also,
yeah,
do the progress markers look different between the players?
they
How are you
haven't.
supposed to tell whose progress markers are who?
I've been using sugar packets, so
Mm,
for my
Little Splenda.
like,
I see. They don't
yeah,
actually include markers. They just
that's one of their goals now for their game found is if they hit a certain point, they will have branded Saturday Wars progress markers. So I'm
although
gonna upgrade. Gonna
look,
upgrade for my sugar packets soon.
honestly, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Don't put tokens don't put little things like that in your starter box, your decks, whatever. Dice. Just use
Ooh,
dice.
why?
That's a good point.
Just use. Yeah. No. Yeah. I've used dice for a few of them. Yeah.
That right. That if you're gonna follow Magic the Gathering's example on something, it's this.
Yes.
Just give your players like a little box of tiny d6s to use as counters, because it's way easier to keep
It
track of
is.
a little
It
box of
is.
dice than sifting through your box of counters.
Yes.
It's way easier to keep track of. You can just turn right. You can just turn the dice
But
right.
then they
Magic has a
wouldn't be able to
long-standing
sell.
tradition of using branded d20s as life counters.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, you can brand them easily because you can put
Yeah.
like a symbol instead of the 6. It's like the only reason Pokemon gets away with this is because like you need to track the life totals on the minions,
That's true.
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like, and honestly, even then, I'm pretty sure people use dice.
They do.
Yeah, I'm not.
The little coins, but if you don't want to, you can just use
Yeah,
anything. I use other stuff.
it's like I'm more familiar with Magic than Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh,
Mhm.
and I'm more familiar with Pokemon than Yu-Gi-Oh. But
Yeah. I played a lot of Digimon card game on the PlayStation 1. That's probably the one I'm most familiar with. I got very locked into that game for a while.
yeah, give your players the deck and some dice, and they will figure it out.
Okay.
Right.
Should I read
Yes,
the next one?
I guess
That we're
I'll.
all good? Or
And
Taper should go.
yeah, how
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering does it: how to free blade whenever this creature or another creature you control enters, you may put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Right?
Yeah.
This creature gets more powerful the more creatures that come in after it.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
That one
this
makes sense.
this chapter gets more counters on it the more allies come in. Makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
There is no character mentioned. Common use optimal. Yes. Period at the end. Yes. I like the exclamation mark. Anyway, next card.
Yeah, Taper, do you want to read
Yeah.
or who should read the next one?
Yeah. This is card 4 from the Apple Black faction. It is a chapter card, narrative action type. No traits, no for the progress value red. Purge clause blue is none. Card title, subtitle, visit the prison. Card ability. Card with blue equals 1, comma, blue equals 2, or blue equals 3 cannot be played during this chapter.
Yeah.
What is wrong? What happens if a card tries to play a card that cannot be played? See number 84, become a striker. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what's number 84. I'll skip ahead to that one. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
So
story
card
arc.
ability is for number 84.
play the top card of your boy deck for free.
Yeah, that is contradictory. That is that is not good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine you just don't play it, which is bad. Because again, players like to play their cards,
yeah,
and also the
it's like,
templating.
yeah, I don't know which one would cancel out in that.
I'd imagine
If you
the
played both of them.
arc, because the chapter is kind of defining the game, but also like you should be like stuff like this becoming an issue over the course of multiple sets is inevitable, but like this is your first set. This is your core set.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
this is the one you need to iron out the most.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Also,
other
the
thing is,
templating is terrible. Just like
Y-
cards with purge cost of 1, purge cost of 2, purge cost of 3. Just say purge cost 3 or less.
yeah, that too.
Although then, I mean, you could say, oh, what about purge cost 0? It just doesn't. Those just don't have a purge cost.
Yeah.
There, easy, done.
Yeah, I have to wonder if they are making these cards up as they go, because they
Of course they are.
Well, I don't want to say anything I don't have definitive proof of, but it does seem like that. It's weird that they revealed on their game found 60 some cards so far. It's like, well, like, what is the whole set? Not 67 out of 150 cards from Volume 1 have been revealed. So, like, well, what the hell? Where's the rest of them?
I mean,
Their
you don't want to
Discord.
reveal all your cards because there has to be some mystery in the opening packs. But like,
Okay, all right,
that's fine. But at the same
Yeah.
time, these cards all suck.
yeah. In their Discord, which is public, I am not sneaking around. I'm not doing anything too shady. They said that they were working on Tabletop Simulator access for Volume 1, and they were asking people, how many pre-built decks would you like to see? How complex would you like them to be? Beginner, intermediate, expert. And do you want a full play experience or demo experience for the pre-built decks? That's from Resurrection Games in the official server for Saturday Wars.
Mm.
And then one of the fans replies, I would definitely like preset decks with difficulty settings, full play experience. There could be full texture, rainbow effects on more of the rare cards. That would be awesome. And Resurrection Games replies, so you want us to reveal all of the secret art treatments? Question mark. LOL. Winking emoji. It's like, well, secret art treatments? Like, what do you mean? Like, all of the art so far has been like from the manga. Are you holding out on us now? Like,
secret.
Because I said, like, oh, why? Like I said earlier, like, this is such a goofy number of cards, but like you're not waiting on your artist to get back to you because you're just using manga art. So it's like, wait, are you not now? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, if they are just making this up as they go along, they're not doing a good job of it. I'll just say that much.
I would also have to agree with that statement.
Thank you.
Yeah, how Magic does it, right? You got a pig, green, one white, legendary creature, Kithkin Advisor. Okay. Non-creature spells with mana value 4 or greater can't be cast. Exactly what I was saying. Just say 3 or less.
Yeah.
And non-creature spells with X in their mana costs can't be cast. X is just, some cards have an X in the mana cost, which is just as much mana as you can shove in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No characters mentioned. Optimal comma use. No period.
Yeah. Did you want to keep going and read number 5?
Yeah, I can do number
5.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, yeah, Lucario, go ahead. Lucario, do it.
Perfect. Glad to. So when we're looking at number 05, or actually, it would be number 00. Which one is it? Bully Eater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
05 Bully Eater. Yeah, G-Craft Discovery.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. I got confused again by the no number 1 thing, but that's not anyone's fault. That's just because Tapir did so good finding all of these, but we just don't quite have that number.
Oh, yeah.
So this
There's no number 1.
Yeah, there's no number 1, but that's just because like there's only so much that Tapir could find. Like this took so much for you.
Yeah, this is everything
I was
online.
pulling from the Saturday AM cover had like some like that was like the first some of the cards were revealed. Like I dug everywhere to find as much as I could, and then after I got most of them, then they revealed on their game found some new ones. So I looked as hard as I could. I couldn't find number one. Hopefully, it's Sano as the ant with Bindle meme. That's what I'm hoping for.
That is some serious dedication, though. Like, looking at a magazine cover and like getting all this information. That is as much dedication as my show to like that indie magical girl show that I like tried to, communicate to her on stream. And I'm like, here's my thoughts. Blah blah blah. I recommend this. That's really
man. I hope that magical girl show does well, even if it's like not my taste. Like I just love this creator's passion and energy.
I haven't gotten around to watching it.
Trixie watched it on stream yesterday.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
It's probably the optimal.
I wasn't there for that.
On that one, Lucario fan, the newest video, you can see Trixie watching it. It's only like 15 minutes, but basically it's a good pilot. I hope that she can like keep moving and like making the mascot have more depth and stuff, because that's like my big thing that I'm hoping.
Yeah,
that's what I tried to say on stream.
Yeah,
so much appreciated with all your hard work, so we could read all these. We're looking at.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. 005 is from Bully Eater, and it is a chapter card. When we're talking about the concept of traits, there's none. When we're talking about the action type, there is prologue. The progress value is none. The purge cost is none. And so the name of the card is the Key Craft Discovery. Each player searches their boy deck for one character card, reveals it, and adds it to their hand. What is wrong? No issues found with this one. And then not any Magic the Gathering to it. And then is the character referred in the effect cataloged? Characters are not mentioned. And then comma used optimal? Yes. And then period at the end? No. And then tallying regularity, there is not anything there.
Yeah. And we have a new ugly ass signature.
I didn't write the spreadsheet, but I will say I do have something wrong with this card. I would like to say that there is something wrong. Each player searches their shonen deck for one character card, reveals it, and adds it to their hand. Well, I searched my deck. Yeah. So I searched my deck. I searched my boy deck, and I got my card. So now I just know I know the order of my cards. Now what?
Yeah,
like the card counting game starts, I guess.
Like, look, there's a reason Scry is a really powerful effect in Magic. Like, look at the first X cards of your deck, put them back on top in any order, or on, take out the ones you want, put them on top in any order, and put the rest on the bottom. Usually powerful effect, because you know what's coming up next.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything like that, very powerful, because this is your source of imperfect information. This is your source of ambiguity.
We're giving the benefit of the doubt to the creator just to make sure that we're understanding them completely. The way that I interpreted this, but let me know if I'm understanding it wrong, is that every player, so it says each player, every player is going to find a card in their boy deck that's a character card. And so the idea in that case would be that it lets each player get to know what's in their hand. Is the idea that like the deck of cards is up face side down on the table, so no one knows what's in their deck, and so each player gets to know now what's in their deck?
Yeah, the deck is not the hand. The deck is what's on the table face down.
Right. Okay, I see.
Right, it's the pool each player is drawing from. Also, is it searches the boy deck for one character card? Is it one specific? Can you choose which card you're looking for, or do you just take the first one you find?
I think the second thing. I think the first one you find.
It's interesting. Right? Like, if I like one character card more than the other, could I just keep looking for it? Yeah, they don't specify that. That's a good find.
Yeah, it's true. It's not clear enough.
Magic, the former would be name a card, right, and search the deck for that card.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite infamously rules lawyered with the whole in one tournament where a player said Borborygmos when he was searching for Borborygmos Enraged, and the other player was like, well, they didn't say Borborygmos Enraged, so and Borborygmos is a card, right? Just Borborygmos, and that's not in his deck, so he fizzles, right? And the judges said, yes, he's right, actually.
Oh man, right?
I'm really happy they added Carrot Top to Baki. He's a real good character.
Carrot Top and Baki.
It looks like Carrot Top, but in Baki. Like, he did a personification.
Oh my god!
Look up Carrot Top. Put an image on screen. It's like
that is
eyebrows and everything.
That is yes, Chroma. About the naming conventions and that's going to be a whole rage on itself when we get to Ryuzaki.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, that rightfully pissed me off. I'll save that when he pops up.
Yeah, Switch Game's version of the legendary rule.
But it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. The templating in this game is so bad.
I think the Clock Striker faction is the only one that is consistent, where it says like you can only cast can do this, or you know when they specify, it's like okay, they specify the ability for cast or the upgrade for cast. And there's a card called cast, so that is consistent. But that consistency doesn't exist with the Apple Black characters because they usually abbreviate it to just the character's first name.
Yeah.
So that raises a lot of questions. And I don't like knowing that somebody smarter than me could just argue and be like, fuck you. I'm going to play 2 Ryuzakis. And I'd just be like, oh, okay. Like, I wouldn't be able to talk my way out of that.
It's like, are you supposed to be able to play 2 different Ryuzaki cards or not? Like,
yeah, like it's like I know it's the same guy, but I'm just thinking, how are children going to bully me when I play this card game in real life? And that worries me. I worry about how I will be bullied over this card game because it will happen because your rules are not clear.
Anyway, next card.
Yeah, let's move on to the next card.
Before we go insane.
Yes.
Before we become insane.
Become Carrot Top.
Become Carrot Top.
So,
Lucario, did you want to read that one?
Oh, yeah. I can read another one. Or were we going back and forth?
I don't know.
All right, I'll read another. That's fine with me. So now I'm moving on to Clock Striker. It is from, that's the faction, but also that's the thing they're plugging. The card type is chapter. The traits are none. The action type is narrative. The progress value is none. The purge cost is none. The card title is actually Arclight Phoenix. That's a bit of a tongue twister, so I don't want to mess that up. Card ability, during this chapter, all enduring effects are canceled. What is wrong? Quote unquote, during this chapter, do chapter cards need to explain that their effects are for the current chapter? And then how Magic the Gathering does it? No, not applicable here. And then is the character referred in the effect cataloged? Characters are not mentioned. Comma use optimal? Yes. And period at the end? No. And no tallying playing regularity.
Yeah. Same issue as card number 3. So nice. I don't have too much to... Oh, yeah, that one looks nice. Yeah, that is definitely one of their prettier cards. I do like that one.
Sort of Brown Table-esque. If you've ever seen the YouTuber Brown Table, who I believe also is making like their own like comic or something. So that might be something that White Manga and his crew should look into. But yeah, Brown Table on YouTube, great animator and like YouTuber guy. His art style is very much like this. It also a little bit is giving like Final Fantasy with the bird is a little bit choking.
Yes.
Yeah. And honestly, this is actually a decent card.
Mm-hmm.
We got one. This one's okay.
Yeah, this one's okay.
Just get rid of the during this chapter thing and put a goddamn period at the end.
Yeah. I think if we're grading on a curve, this one passes.
Yeah. So far, this is the A.
Yes.
This is actually an all right card.
It's actually all right. That's probably the nicest thing you could say about any of the cards here. It's like, well,
in any other
you didn't
CCP,
totally disappoint
I would give
me.
this a passing grade.
Arclight Phoenix, a star student
but
of
a
Apple
passing grade.
Yeah.
So it's much better than most of these.
Yeah.
It actually works.
Yes.
Whether the effect is good or useful or well thought out, I don't care. It works.
Yeah, it doesn't completely break the game.
Yeah. Other than that, and because it works, this card isn't actually very interesting to talk about.
Yeah. I guess we can move on to the next one.
Number 9, Clock Striker. It's chapter, no special effect, narrative, no progress value or purge cost because it's a chapter card. Rescue the kids. Each time a player retrieves any number of cards this chapter, they retrieve one additional card. Oh boy.
Is that a
This is
typo from Ricky or on the
It's
actual
from
card?
Ricky. It's from Ricky.
Okay.
Oh, this
Okay, so
card
we
is a
can
fucking disaster. Oh dear God.
Can I just point out one thing with the art right from the outset? I know
please.
the title says
Please.
Rescue the Kid. So with the title context, we know that it's not going to be a dark thing. But this is shaded like the kid is dead. It looks like she's carrying
Oh,
a
no!
corpse. It reminds me of Ashitano Joe when that purple guy like
Oh, yes!
those kids and they're all
Yes!
around.
Oh no!
Yeah, when she was fucking dead. Yeah.
Oh no!
Just like an open eye or like a sweat drop of like nervous anticipation of what's going to happen next. And
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that they drew the foot. I'm glad that my Footprint Entertainment got a foot card
The
to
foot.
show off their big feet.
my footprint.
Yeah. My
footprint.
My foot gummy. Okay, but yeah, yeah. So every time you retrieve being retrieving from the purge pile,
Yeah.
right? You may retrieve right. They may the player may retrieve an additional card.
Yeah. I think.
Any number retrieves any number of cards.
Yeah. Retrieve
What?
any number of cards this chapter. They retrieve one additional card.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
one
yeah,
is a
like yeah, is
number.
that in a
One is a number. The problem with this card, will retrieving each time a player retrieves create an indefinite loop. A replacement term, such as instead, would help the clarity of the ability. Each time a
Yes.
player retrieves any number of cards this chapter, they retrieve one additional card instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say each time a player retrieves any number of cards this chapter, they retrieve one additional card. Cards granted by this effect do not trigger the effect, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just add a term that says the cards this effect gives you don't trigger it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, there needs to be
immediately solve
something.
the problem.
Yeah.
And
I would agree.
yeah, how Magic does it, thought reflection, if you would draw a card, draw 2 cards instead. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No characters mentioned. Comma use optimal.
Mhm.
No, period. 13. Who would like to read?
Want me to?
I'll
Taper do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Paper, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so number 13 from the Hammer faction. It is a chapter card, traits none, action type narrative, progress value red none, purge cost blue, card title subtitle, Secrets of the Prison Kingdom, and the card ability. The blue of each player's first card this chapter is paid by retrieving cards instead of purging cards. What is wrong? What does first card this chapter refer to? The first card played from a player's hand. If the card was played for free, does the player still retrieve cards? If the card has a non-purge cost, is that cost instead retrieving cards? How many cards does the player retrieve? How Magic the Gathering does it, no notes there. I guess Magic wasn't brave enough to do something like this. Is the character referred in the effect catalog, and characters are not mentioned? Comma use optimal? Yes. Period at the end? No. Tallying, playing irregularity clues, and there is nothing there. All right, what's everyone's thoughts on?
I have comments, but
I have so many problems with this card. First of all, that's not a cost.
Yeah.
That's not a cost. You're not paying. It's literally just yeah. Each player, the first card they play, it's free and you get stuff back.
Yeah.
Which, why would you ever play this? It's like either you give your opponent a huge advantage or you stomp them.
Yeah.
This is either terrible or broken, which is the worst kind of design in any game. And also just
I think since this was one of the
you can put out the most expensive card in your hand and get like 8 cards back, and it's oh god,
retrieving cards.
And of course, since your deck is your resource, how you pay, it's like this would be like in Magic, right? Instead of paying mana cost, you gain extra mana for your mana pool for the first card you play this turn.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? You would never print that in Magic because it's obscenely busted.
No.
Granted, this isn't quite as bad as being like, yeah, you just get like 5 you just get the mana cost of your fucking 10 mana creature in your mana pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can play Progenitus for free, and you get two mana of each color. Not that Progenitus is a very good card. I mean, that's because of the mana cost. So, like...
Yeah.
Or fucking... Okay, there's a card in Magic called Door to Nothingness, I think. Door to Nothingness, Door to Emptiness. It's 2 of each color, right? 2 blue, 2 white, 2, etc.
Yeah.
It's an artifact, and it has tap, pay, 2 of each color, win the game. I think it's win the game. Point is, if you did this, if you had an effect like this in Magic, you could play that card for free and then use the mana you got to win to use the effect.
Yeah.
And that's why you never fucking print something like this.
Yeah.
I have art style thoughts. Do you want me to share them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, yes.
This is the first of the Hammer cards that we're looking at, which, as I understand, is by a new artist by the name of J. Owen?
J. Odin. J. Odin.
Well, that's an issue. I thought it was J. Owen because I thought the D was another O.
Oh, no.
That's bad. That's really bad.
I like the protagonist design on this. He's not centered right, which makes this very weird, but the protagonist I like.
Yeah, he should be a little higher. I don't like how the text is over the big fist. Not crazy about that. Anyway, go on.
It makes it look cluttered. I'm totally with you because that's not a bad rendering of a hand, which is something I was going to get into.
Yeah.
The protagonist and some of the other designs from this one, Hammer, I vibe with. I like it a lot. It's sort of like Osamu Tezuka meets Scott Pilgrim in a way. Like the face is pretty Scott Pilgrim, but like the hair is giving like major like shiny Astro Boy hair vibes. I don't know if that's just because of the coin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's giving some Osamu Tezuka. I like the art a lot. I've been in my paint program doodling GIF of one of the creatures from this comic for a while. And I just had to give a shout out that they're a good character designer.
Yeah, he definitely has a very unique art style.
Oh, this is a male artist? I would not have guessed that. That's cool. He's got a good style. I would not have guessed this was drawn by a dude. Not to say that I stereotype or anything, but I would have expected that.
No, I hear what you mean.
Okay,
unless J. Odin had a pronoun change I didn't know of.
Yeah,
in which case, my apologies.
I misremembered Door to Nothingness a bit. It's 5 colorless mana, so you can pay with any mana, and then it's the 10 mana for right, and it comes into play tap, so you need to wait a turn or untap it somehow, which there's plenty of ways to do that.
Yeah.
Sacrifice Door to Nothingness, target player loses the game, which basically just means you win the game. So like, still very, very very broken. This is a very broken card design. Don't do this, like, ever.
Yeah.
Especially since this is free, right? Like, this is free. And inevitably, the person who has this is going to build their deck in such a way where this is advantageous to them, right? This is going to be broken if the person using it has half a brain.
Yeah, I haven't played with this card specifically yet because it was one of the ones revealed on the Game Found on that big Game Found drop with the 67 cards. So my first time like thinking about it a little deeper. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I have like here's how this card fucked me up when I tried to use it. Commentary. I have none of that here. I just know that it will fuck me up if I try to use it.
Yeah. Okay. Number 14. Hammer Faction. Chapter card. It's no special traits. It's an epilogue. When calculating progress value totals for this chapter, character cards did not add their progress value. So, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, the card name is Travel to Bird Mountain.
Yes.
And it is...
No period.
Yeah. It is a perfectly adequate card.
Perfectly adequate. I would say this is probably the best card so far. This is better than Arclight Phoenix. Because, if nothing else, it doesn't have the during this chapter. I mean, for this chapter is maybe a bit clunky, but it's fine. It's fine here, I think.
I would argue Arclight Phoenix is better because the art is much cooler.
The art is much cooler. That is true. You're right.
So I got to give it to that. That's my personal pick for the GOAT.
Yeah, I think mechanically this one is better.
Yeah.
But the art on that one is better. Yeah. And otherwise, this is nothing. It's fine.
Yeah. it gets the It's Fine award if we're
This
doing
is
a
a-
tier list ranking.
The C- card.
I guess we could move on to the next one. Number 15. I guess I'll read that.
Number 15. Sorry.
Oh boy, Mimicwog.
I couldn't help it.
Number 15.
Would you like
Burger
me to
King.
read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet.
Do it in the chill voice.
I'll do the whole thing in the chill voice. That's fine.
Do it.
What's the chill voice? Oh no.
You don't know this meme?
It's the voice.
No, it's the chill
Number
meme.
15, Burger King foot lettuce.
What is this?
Paper doesn't know this meme. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's this guy
He
called
doesn't
Chill.
know.
He makes the most chilling top 15 videos of crazy stories that he found on 4chan, and one of them was Burger King foot lettuce, and it was number 15 on his top 20 or something.
Yeah, it's a very stupid meme, but like the way he says it is the way he talks is.
They brought him on Smiling Friends just because his voice is so funny. So they brought him on as a side character on Smiling Friends. Yeah.
That's incredible. And having a goofy voice will take you places.
If you're at Burger King, the last thing you want is someone's feet in your lettuce. Burger King burger is lettuce with foot stink in it, or I don't remember how it
The
goes.
last thing you want on your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus. That was it. Should I read the card like normal?
No, do it in the chills voice.
Okay, I'll do it in the chilled voice. Number 15, MMPWOG. Card type, chapter. Traits, none. Action type, narrative. Progress value, none. Purge cost, none. Card type subtitle, avoid the swarm. Each time a challenge is issued this chapter, each player draws one card. What is wrong? Issued this chapter. Do chapter cards need to explain that their effects are for the current chapter? Is the character referred in the effect catalog? Characters are not mentioned. Comma use optimal? Yes. Period at the end? No. And then there's no talent playing regularity.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about issuing challenges later.
Oh yeah. Sorry, like I fold over goofy voices way too easily.
I'm very fond of using goofy voices.
Please.
God.
Okay. Each time a challenge is issued this chapter, each player draws one card. Challenges are pretty few and far between in this, so
Yeah.
so I wouldn't say this card is broken.
It's
But it's still got
a
the issue, this
burger.
chapter issue
Yeah.
that those other two had. So
Yeah,
I don't
It's
know.
just a templating issue. It's just a common templating issue.
Yeah, I guess we give this one like a C.
Yeah, I'd say
like
so.
adequate.
Yeah, like they really need a style guide,
Yes.
like a good style guide instead of whatever they're using now. Okay, next paper. You want to take this one?
Yeah. Number 17 from Massive Multiplayer World of Ghosts. Card type, chapter, traits, none. Action type, narrative, progress value, none. Purge cost, blue, and that is none. Card title, subtitle, form and alliance. Card ability. After each player has taken 3 actions, each player chooses and take, spelling is correct, control of one of their opponent's allies. No issues found. Wait, did they misspell? Wait, I gotta look at the...
Roses.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
His roses are roses, but Moses supposed something.
And take control. Each player chooses a... Oh, no, I'm looking at the real... Oh, no, I'm not just looking at this... Oh, no.
I feel like allies maybe be capitalized because that's a keyword.
Oh, yeah, that too. Oh, no, Resurrection Games. No.
3 actions each player chooses and take control of one of their opponent's allies.
Oh, they need a proofreader.
What it should say is each player chooses and takes control of one of their opponent's allies.
This is heartbreaking.
No issues found except for
Except for, you know what? I'm gonna give this one a pass. I'm gonna say this is A tier, like Arclight Phoenix, because the joy I feel seeing that horrendous of a grammar error just brings joy to my heart.
The spreadsheet doesn't say they fixed the take to takes, but I guess they didn't fix chooses.
Oh, no. Yeah, I have the let me look
Moses,
up the replaced.
those are the roses. And
Oh.
allies should be capitalized, but whatever.
Yeah, that should that's a little
Like,
sloppy.
like they aren't capitalizing allies or student or any of that, but they should be. Those are keywords. Those are
Yeah.
archetypes. For the love of God,
Yeah.
the bold is not enough.
No. Like, just making it bold and no capital makes it feel even wonkier.
Yeah, it's like also you can't. It's a lot harder to tell something is bolded than that it's capitalized.
Yeah. It
Which is
was
why Magic
numbers.
capitalizes their keywords. It's like, look, don't rip off Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, but like do rip off their templating because they know what they're doing.
Wait, was that a chapter card? Oh wait,
Yes,
I found it.
chapter card. It's a chapter.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I found the corrected. Each player chooses and take control of one of their opponent's allies. Allies is not capital. Womp womp. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah.
Here we go. Because next is going to be the doozy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, please. I gotta take this one.
Please do.
Please, go for it.
Number 18. MMPWOG. Chapter, no special effect. Prologue, no special trade, rather. Prologue, surprise birthday party. Henceforth referred to as SBP. Because I'm sure we'll be talking about it again.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Players switch hands. Oh, God.
I have to step away for like 5 minutes. Is that okay? Can you guys carry on without me?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
That's cool.
Good luck.
Players switch hands. Okay. Magic has a lot of take control of this creature, of
Mhm.
of an opponent's creature, or right. One
Yeah.
favorite of mine is Hypnotic Siren, which lets you enchant an opposing creature,
Mhm.
take control of it, and give it flying. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a great example for number 17 in the how Magic does it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
players switch hands. Now, first of all, don't do this.
Yes, yes.
Never do this. This is already an F tier card. This is like
Yeah.
below
Yeah.
F tier. This is maybe the worst card possible in this
Yes.
game.
Yes.
And the reason why is because it means people are going to get their cards mixed up.
Yes, they will. There's
Right?
also there's
In this
nothing.
game that is about let like constantly tell right says yes, you need to mill your cards into the graveyard to pay for stuff. You
Mhm.
need to
Yeah.
retrieve cards from the purge pile, sorry.
Yeah.
Um right. This is going
Yeah.
to result in cards getting mixed up because
Yes.
it's like, okay, so I put this back into my deck. I put this in my purge pile. I take
Yeah.
that out of the purge pile and put it in my deck. It's gonna get mixed up,
Yeah.
right? And I guess the assumption here is that players are going to sleeve all their cards, right? And they're all going to
Yeah.
have different sleeves, I guess.
Yeah, everybody into this game, we're all going to have our favorite manga. I will be the only person on the planet with an Apple Black card sleeves.
Yeah.
And if
We're
anyone
all
else
going to
buys the Apple Black one, I
sleeves.
will personally fight you.
All 3 people playing this game will use different sleeves.
Oh my god, the multiplayers. That's going to be a whole other topic.
Oh my god. Yeah. And it's just also like with how little these cards let different archetypes and factions mix, like
Mhm.
this just isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
and also
nothing
like
to be like after you play your opponent's card, you put it in their graveyard. It like if they included
yeah.
something like that, it's like maybe this might work. I'm
Yeah,
very
and
I mean,
what Ricky said here, players switch hands, this card will cause cards to go missing and fights to break out, forcing
yeah.
players to let their greasy fingered opponents manhandle their cards is stressful. Not
Yes,
wrong.
it is.
Not
Dude,
wrong.
like
You ever been to Friday Night Magic? Like,
No.
like, Greasy Fingered is right.
Oh man, like yeah, just
There's a
playing with
reason
print to
for the
play.
sleeves. Is all
Yeah,
I can say.
just playing with the printed out cards stressed me the hell out because
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like I have this deck and the opponent's deck. It's like, yeah, these are printed out cards, so it kind of doesn't matter if if one gets lost in the wind or whatever. But it's like I don't
I
want to
mean,
do that. I don't
this
want
is exactly what I was talking about earlier with Ink,
to.
right? This
Yeah.
only works if you're playing in a small, closed group where the cards are just kind of going
Yes.
around between a few people,
Oh
right?
man.
It's like, you're probably
Yeah.
gonna get that Black Lotus or whatever
Yeah.
back
Mm.
eventually. But
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm never gonna see this person again, and
Yeah.
they accidentally put my best cards into their deck,
Yeah.
accidentally. Like,
It,
if you're playing this, you're doing it to steal people's shit.
yeah. It's also like if this because this exists as a tie-in for the manga and they want to do like different exclusive cards and promo art and they have a thing where you could submit designs for like they want exclusivity, they want the cards to have value. It's not they're not going to be like, oh, we're going to be cool and keep everything, like we're also going to have the print to play for, like they're not going to do that forever. So it stresses me out. I'll just say that.
And, okay. Yeah. Back to Ricky's thing. I don't believe
Yeah.
there's a magic card that lets you place cards your opponent's own into your hand. There is no
Mhm.
indication that the players return the cards at the end of the turn. The players may hold
Yeah.
both the cards their opponents own and the cards they own. Without sleeves or
Mhm.
if using the same sleeves, it is difficult to keep track of which cards are owned by who.
Yeah.
In Magic, cards specify that creatures are returned to their owner's hand even if you explicitly control them.
Yeah.
Right, there are cards in Saturday Wars Volume 1 that are not worded ready for players switched hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hypnotic Siren earlier, that's still like that creature still goes to the opponent's graveyard. It's still theirs. You're just controlling it. It's still explicitly their card. You're just using it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the better way to do that, to just say like, "Oh, I'm going to dictate what the opponent is going to do, so there's no mixing." Or even if it was like if you really want to get silly, you could say like you and your opponent switch seats for one turn.
Yeah.
So that was and then you switch back at the end of the turn. So that way there is like, okay, I'm gonna manhandle my opponent's cards and I'm gonna play him a bad hand. Ooh, watch out. Like you could do that. Like I'm again, there had to have been like ways to prevent catastrophe. Unless Saturday Wars just wants to see the world burn, I suppose.
Yeah. So how Magic does it? Everything a
Yeah.
majig. Eight colorless mana. It has a few effects, but sacrifice this artifact. Choose target
Mhm.
player. At the beginning of the next end step, exchange life totals with that player. Exchange control of all permanents you and that player control, and exchange cards in your hands, cards in your libraries, and cards in your graveyards.
Yeah.
Ruling for this ability, you'll be the owner of the cards put into your hand, library, and your graveyard this way for the rest of the game. Everyone gets their cards back when the game is over, and everything switches. So the mixing
Yeah.
isn't going to be an issue.
Yeah.
And as noted, everything Majig is from a joke set called Unstable.
Oh. Oh. Oh
Because
no.
there is no way they would ever fucking do this seriously in Magic.
Yeah.
And I've posted in the chat Mirror
Yeah.
Mirror, which
Oh.
is the same effect from Unglued, the first joke set they did.
Oh no.
And also the text in the card name and the pipeline. I really
That
like.
is such a good detail.
Yeah.
Man, so Magic has this card, but it's like
It's like
funny,
it works.
like
And
two
also it's
two
a joke. It is literally
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah. So literally a joke
This
to
is
fuck around.
the same, like these are the same sets that have shit like if you're wearing denim, you can't block this creature.
See, like, yeah, if Saturday Wars was gonna go in that direction of like we're just gonna be the dumbest card game imaginable, I would respect that a little more. If they had more shit like that.
Or like the worst, evilest, most dangerous creature in the multiverse, and it's like a
Yeah.
squirrel drinking hot cocoa.
Yeah.
And it has all
That would
these
be cool.
abilities, and you can
Yeah.
pay 1 mana and show your opponent this card and say it's coming to do damage.
Yes. Yeah, just amp up how broken it is, and
Just,
I'll be a little more on board.
Yeah, it's like, if you're gonna do shit like this, just be silly. Just be a silly
Yes.
game.
Yeah,
Do weird dexterity challenges.
Yeah, I think there was a card game called We Didn't Test Play This Card Game. I'm sorry, I know that's not the exact name, but it'll have things like, if you draw a card, you win. Like, and it's just a bunch of like stupid little conditions within the game. Give me more like that. Yeah, like you said, like, oh, if you're wearing denim, you get you get a bonus.
Yeah, that card is called Heirloom Wrangler. Get a like Wrangler jeans.
I dig it. See, then it would fraction even further because it's like it wants to be a story building game, but then it also is like this cool fighting game, but also we're gonna be hee silly. So it would be like then it actually would be like feel like a multiverse game trying to like configure the different factions together. Then it's like, okay, there's the story building faction, there's the action fighting section, and then there's the funny joke section. And we're gonna try to meld them together.
Yeah, it's like, put this card in a joke set that is going to be played like on someone's kitchen table unseriously.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Because, we're all friends here. We're all gonna give each other's cards back.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
This is not something that should be tournament legal in any game.
No.
Like, this is not something that you should be allowed to play at a Friday night meetup.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Also, it's very like asymmetrical, right? You could play this as your chapter card when you have like nothing in your hand.
That too. Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Like there's a lot of cards in Magic like that where it's really uneven, because if you're playing it, it's like everyone discards 7 and draws 7, and it's like you have nothing, and your opponents all have good hands. So you just there's
that was what I was trying to think was, okay, on this being a multiverse game. Okay. So all of the series referenced are all shonen series so far. To tie it back to that shoujo talk at the start of the episode.
They're all in the boy deck.
Yeah, they're all in the boy deck. So
when are they gonna add the girl deck?
Yeah, it's like easy way to make this feel, it's the big crazy multiverse. It's like, okay, like just throw like 2 of your shoujo series into this game. Which, like, yeah, I'm sure it's coming, it's coming in volume 2, whatever.
They have 2 shoujo series?
Yeah, they have a whole shoujo magazine.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Crazy. Yeah. There's Otherworld Travel Agency. I really like. I'm trying to think if that one. See, that's the other issue I have with them is all of their shoujo series, they feel identical to their shonen series with female protagonists. Because, like, every manga that is greenlit under Saturday AM, it all, like, kind of adheres to the taste of the CEO founder, Frederick Jones. He has his taste, which is fine. But, like, but he likes to use Batman meets Yu-Gi-Oh! As like what he looks for when people are pitching a series. And it's like, okay, but like every series here feels like Batman meets Yu-Gi-Oh! It is all like guys with powers beating up other guys with powers, and I fucking hate it. This is not what I come to manga for. And like, again, it's like I gotta put all these qualifiers up because it's like, yeah, that's fine if that's what you get out of manga. I am not saying there is anything wrong with that, but to me, manga is I'm getting way off topic from switching the card hands. See, like I am just always raging about Saturday AM. I just happen to have a microphone in front of me right now.
Look, if you want to switch your hands, you should be able to switch hands with someone playing a girl deck.
Yes, that's the best summary. Like that was one of my like a weird thing that I got in my head as I was going through this was, can I make a mermaid deck? You can make a mermaid deck in Magic. You can make it a Cardfight Vanguard. Pokemon, you could do like a Poplio deck. So that's like mermaid adjacent. You can't make a mermaid deck in Saturday Wars because it's all about can Naruto beat Goku. That is the core fucking ethos of Saturday AM, and I can't stand it.
God. Man. I'm a Changeling fan myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Changelings and Magic, mostly because
Yeah.
they're bullshit, and I just like bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of bullshit. Give me
Yes.
bullshit cards that are stupid and
Yes.
don't make sense.
Yes.
Yeah. This is why Unglued is so funny to me.
Yes.
Yeah, just anyway. We should probably move on from this.
I feel like ending episode 1 on the worst card is a good place to end it.
Yeah, this is like F minus this is Z.
Yeah, I am putting this card in the pits of hell. I hate it so much.
Yeah, this should not be in a series. This should not be in your core set.
No.
It shouldn't be in any set that people are expected to play, seriously.
No. Now, okay, I'll get conspiratorial. Do you think that Saturday Wars deliberately put in shitty cards so they could make a big deal about like, oh, these cards are banned and like, oh, we're paying attention. Like, is there any chance that they're baiting?
Hey guys, I am back. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, hey.
How far did you get through while I was gone?
We decided to stop at SBP.
Oh, cool.
But Lucario, did you have any thoughts on surprise birthday party?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be glad to share thoughts. I'm going to go to that right now. Surprise birthday party. I just got to remember which one it's under. Oh, here it is. Yes. Surprise birthday party. Yeah, this one is very, very much, like we said, there's just a lack of proper polish on these. There's not any egregious typos on this one, but just a lack of like quite proper polish. Like this feels like a spread that would be, at the top of a page, and then there would be some dialogue kind of covering it. Like this is not really a card image, and I'm not saying that as an insult. Just like it doesn't feel rendered in the way that a card image would be. Like this guy here on the side, he's facing off the page. Like I know he's just a background character, but like this is like a spread from a beginning of a chapter. Like happy birthday, and then there's like the character's shocked reaction.
Yeah.
Not so much,
I mean, that probably is just literally what it is.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that is most of the art for this is just lifting from whatever manga. Which is another thing that just kind of like just makes this card game feel cheap. Because like manga art and illustration art, they're just two different worlds. Like you have two wildly different priorities when it's like, okay, like if an artist is commissioned to paint 10 magic cards, they're gonna like really flex for those cards. Whereas like, okay, manga, it's like I just need this done. Like I'm not trying to like insult any of the art here.
Exactly,
but
I agree.
Yeah,
the
mindset. Yeah, the mindset when you make a manga, that's way the hell different than like I'm going to make something pristine for a card. Like even the difference between manga and light novel art is enormous. So like I don't get it.
When I criticize like things artistically with this art, I'm never doing it in a way that's to insult the artist. It's purely to insult whatever, not even insult, to criticize whatever executive person was the one who was like, let's use these panels from this manga for this card game because they feel like they don't have quite an understanding of what made these panels work. Like the other one where the guy's fist was covered up by the text bubble. Like that's not the fault of the artist. They drew that nice looking photo not knowing it was going to get put on a card like this.
Yeah. I think also I played a little bit of the One Piece trading card game and they do have some manga caps from like used in there in addition to like, oh, we're going to also do some more painterly renders for the cards. There's a lot more consideration to how it's formatted and the coloring used, which it just helps it not feel like it was just kind of slapped together. Like, I don't know. One Piece has the budget to hire a graphic designer, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point.
Those One Piece cards are real slick. Like I was interested in the Chopper because he's the cutest and the design is like good. It's not just he's the best. It's not just a manga panel. It's like this was made for the card game.
Yeah.
It feels like Digimon in that way.
Yes.
That's basically everything I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yes. Yeah. So then, yeah, we went into while you
I
stepped
started
away.
talking about like magic joke sets.
Yeah. So we went on a whole tangent about
It's like this is the
magic.
kind of thing that is in magic joke sets.
Yes.
See, that's funny. I came back at the perfect time then.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't even think to like critique the art for this because like the art problems in
It
here
pales in
are
comparison to anything else about this card.
just like the text just ruins it. Like I wasn't even fully processing the art on the page. Yes, thank you, Lucario.
That's really funny. Yeah, thank you for having me on as well. I really feel like episode 2, I'm going to be able to have more to offer because by then I'm going to have even more research into games and card games and, cards for games.
Yes.
So I look forward to that episode 2. Did we do a proper outro so that the viewers can look forward to that?
Yeah, we should do a proper outro.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to plug?
I recently, if you're interested in that Magical Girl indie cartoon that I talked about, I recently did a YouTube short reviewing it and video featuring Trixie on my channel. So check out That One Lucario Fan on YouTube for talking about indie animated stuff. And I just love reviewing animation in general. So if you're an anime and indie animation geek, check out that on YouTube.
Chroma,
I
where
don't
can people
really
find
have
you?
anything to plug yet, but when I do, I'll plug myself.
Yes, I will update the description when you have something to plug. Hey, thank you guys both so much for hanging out and going over this spreadsheet. I really hope we could do more episodes of this in the future. This was so much fun.
Thank you. It was an awesome time.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.